Two white antennas. Those do not count for the official height. They are not spires, they are antennas. They are not part of the architecture. Otherwise, it'd be up over 1,700 feet. Now, at the base, you have 9 square bundled tubes, all connected together. Then, as it rises up there, those tubes taper off at different heights. When you get to the very top, you have 2 tubes remaining connected. That helps you deal with those strong Chicago winds. They're able to kind of wrap around the building, not as much surface area to blow against. As you gaze up there, you probably noticed those 4 boxes sticking out of the west side. Has anyone done the ledge since they've been here? Yeah, all right. So yeah, you go into those block boxes and look straight down with nothing but a piece of glass between you and Chicago. It is perfectly safe, folks. Even if you did hear the story of the ledge cracking a little over a month ago, the ledge did not crack. I like to set the record straight, even for other tourist attractions here. There was a special clear coating that they put on the glass to keep it from scratching. That did start spider webbing and cracking, but the glass itself, perfectly safe. It can hold about 4,000 pounds up there. However, if that makes you squeamish, you probably made the right choice being on a boat here with me today. Now, speaking of those strong Chicago winds, on an especially windy day, they say the Sears Tower can blow back and forth up to 3 feet. That's by design. You want your building to bend in the wind, not break in the wind. Speaking of those Chicago winds, we are of course known as the Windy City, but that's not where we got the name from. You see, the name comes from the fact that a New York newspaper reporter was mocking the politicians here in Chicago. And he called them those windbags from the Windy City, saying that they were full of hot air. So that's where we got the nickname. But it also fits because, as you can tell, we get windy here. By the way, I mentioned the Boeing building and its truss system. Well, there it is, off the left front of our boat, that black and gray granite building there. You'll see the steel trusses. That's what holds up that side of the building. They don't need as many support columns. Nice engineering trick there. So the Sears Tower is not the tallest building in the world, of course. It's not even in the top 10 anymore. But we do still have a connection to the tallest buildings in the world. See, the current tallest building is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. The next tallest building in the world should be the Kingdom Tower in Saudi Arabia. Both of those buildings were designed by our very own Adrian Smith. Lives, works here, did the Trump Tower, so we're very happy to have a connection and have the architect who is designing the tallest buildings in the world. Here to the right, you have this Civic Opera building. The Civic Opera opened in 1929, Art Deco style by Graham Anderson, Probst & White. You might notice the comedy and drama masks carved into the side of the building right there above the lettering. And as it rises up there, you might also get a sense of its throne-like shape. In fact, when it first opened, it gained the nickname Insol's Throne. And that's because it was paid for by a man named Samuel Insull. He was a very wealthy man, ran the energy company that would one day become ComEd. And so the story behind why he built that building was that his daughter had been rejected by the Metropolitan Opera in New York. So, to make his daughter happy, he built her very own opera house. Had it shaped like a throne, had it facing away from New York, so that she could, in spirit, sit upon her throne with her back turned towards the Big Apple. Just out of spite. Now, it may or may not be a true story. It is a great story because there's like 5 different versions of it. Sometimes it's his daughter, sometimes it's his wife, sometimes he just wanted a throne. But it makes sense to build the building like that from an economical standpoint because you rent out the office towers around it to pay for the opera house in the middle. Unfortunately, the first opera company to call it home folded after only a few years, because of the Great Depression. And nowadays, though, it is used by the Lyric Opera of Chicago. And they are definitely a world-class opera company. Now a little bit of American history. Over here on the banks of the river to our right, there was a structure known as the Wigwam back in 1860. And that was where the Republicans had their national convention that year. And that's where they nominated Abraham Lincoln to be their candidate for president. Right here, along the banks of the river. So here's your American history. Are going to get a great view of the L going across the Lake Street Bridge. The L, of course, short for elevated, is our mass transit system and the fourth largest mass transit system in the country. A little over 100 miles of rail, and a good amount of it is that iconic elevated style. We do have it go down to the suburbs, or not suburbs, subway.